Hello everyone. Time for another session of Overwatch reviewing our VODs. Today we'll be playing at Watchpoint Gibraltar, and I think the champion that I'll be playing is Winston. Let's play it and see, boys.
Maybe.
Cool.
Go triple.
Cool. Um, so what do we have? Ooh, we have triple tank. So the reason I don't really like triple tank defending is because triple tank is counterable by some things that so for example, if they click a Reaper, that kind of counters us. Anything that are good against tanks, so maybe Doomfist, which is decent against tanks, or even Bastions, which are good against tanks, can be easier counterable. So you can see, literally see our comps to make the changes. So when we're defending, I usually prefer to play a little more traditional comps. So 2-2-2 really, and so it's not as easy to counterable, but it could potentially work. Play it on.
No? Where should I go? Soldier. Soldier.
Okay, we pick a soldier, which is better. So let me just go look at the comp
Soldier and
again.
Widow.
Yeah, okay. So, uh, yeah, so decent. So notice that this is our main tank, Winston. There won't be much of a defensive line for the soldier and the widow to hide behind. Though it's mostly for the soldier to hide behind the shield, so there won't be much. So he has to know that and play around that. In terms of champion picks, soldier's good here. Widow's really good in both all first and second point because lots of high ground where she can just shoot down. Um, Diva's a whatever, good. Briquette's just meta right now, good. And we have Moira for heal and Winston. So the problem with playing Winston with Moira is it doesn't really synergize that well, because the Moira can't really heal the Winston until he jumps back. Moira can't really follow a Winston into the thick of battle and heal him. So I being Winston have to play around that. I know the fact that I won't get big heals until I get back and join my team again. So let's play on.
Should be good against the power. I have faith.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So yeah, as Winston, I like starting up here, mainly because the main problem with Winston is that if you use your jetpack to gap close, you don't have escape anymore. So it's really strong as Winston to close the gap with the enemy, without using your jump pack, so you can jump back out to if you it gets a bit tense, or you can jump to chase a kill. So it's really good to get on spots like these spots where you can just drop down on the enemy and then start cleaving their supports. And then if you can, as the support jumps away, like a Mercy Guardian is inches away, you can use your jet back to chase after and get a kill. Or if it doesn't really work and they all turn on you, you can also use that pack to just jump away. So it's really strong to stand here. Also, it avoids taking poke. So one of the main problems with Winston is that if you take too much poke at the initial stages before you jump in, so you're standing around and there's a soldier shooting at you, so you're 500. You don't really want to use your shield because you want to use your shield when you jump in to block damage. So when they see you, you're 500 and then you become 350, which is a problem because when you jump in, you're more likely to die. So it's always good to get in spots where they can't really take damage, and then you get onto the supports without taking too much damage.
Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
Okay, so there's the Tracer. I put as much pressure on her as possible. Um, so it's very important to melee the Tracer when she gets close to you because that's very burst damage. And burst is burst, so if you can tick her off enough, you can just kill her in one shot with your jetpack.
Get Moira, that's decent.
Lucio
Lucio up.
Minor.
And as Winston, it's always good to know that you should always reload because your ammo runs out so fast. So in these key moments where you're really not enough time, you should just look to reload religiously.
For some.
Right.
Sweet.
So yeah, she was low. I knew that if I jumped on her, my jump pack had enough damage to just finish her off in one shot. So just backed away slightly, then jumped on and killed her. I wasted my shield here. There was really no damage to block off here. You can see that it's just taking 50 damage, and there's not really any major damage incoming. So for me, I wasted my shield here. Should have kept it more.
Nice. Nice. Farah. Mercy.
Okay, they've got loads, let's go.
So yeah, focus the fire here, which is good.
Staying up high. Oh, I'm down.
So nothing much here. I knew that I couldn't get the kill on the Pharaoh or the Mercy because they're way up in the air, and then it's not not really in it for me to chase it. It's not much value. So and then I was taking too much damage because the power burst boosting the fire and taking shooting damage at me down here. So I pop a shield to stay in the barrier. I know that I don't have to jump away just yet. I don't need to use my jetpack because barrier's still intact. So ideally, I would stay here until my barrier gets broken, maybe finish up a kill and then just jump away.
Reinhardt's off.
So yeah, I saw that the Mercy was coming and that was a good shot, but noticed that my health bar is very low already. It's already half health. So if I try to stick and get a kill, it's probably a suicide mission in terms of that. Um, so it's actually a really bad move there. I should have just jumped back away and then joined my healers and asked them to heal me back and then just rejoin the fray.
Watch the fire is still above you.
Yeah, stay inside and then.
Mercy.
So I managed to get the kill on Mercy, which is good, but it was risky. If I didn't manage to get the kill on the Mercy, then it would have been really bad for our team. So it was a bit dangerous overall, and that was definitely a mistake.
Yep.
Right, fall back, leave it.
Yeah, fall back, fall back.
Come back, leave it. Right, healing down, healing down.
So,
Tracer behind us.
fire above.
Tracer one, Tracer one. Tracer dead. Big one. Our tank's back. Are the tanks back?
I
Nice.
just died. I just died.
So not much to see here. They have Anna, so I should be looking to dive her mainly. The tank lines are okay diveable too, but if they get any heavy source of healing, then I just become really useless. I have my ult that's coming up soon, so that becomes a very good sense of survivability for that.
We get Mercy. We get Mercy.
So your Mercy jumped in, which became really good for me because I'm cleaving multiple targets, and also that her escape is used. So ideally, I should be able to finish off this kill.
Nice. Go for Mercy as well. Nice, nice.
So both the supports are down right now, thanks to a good shot by Widow, and then me and the Mara Orb just doing damage. So right now they can't win in the fight. We've just won it entirely because the healers are down before the fight has really even started yet.
Right, right. Nice. There we go. Right, I've got my ult for next push. Going up high ground.
I'm going up as well.
Yeah, again, as Winston, it's really good to be on high ground, mainly because you can drop down on them without using your jump pack, and there's a lot of vantage points for you. The main bad point about here is that you don't really have a lot of area where you can't afford, where you can not take poke. So if I hide behind here, my big fat body would just poke away in cover, and they can probably poke me out a bit, where I have to retreat a bit. So ideally, they would just walk from here to here without noticing me, and then I just can walk up to them and just start zapping them. And then if they start running away, I can use my jump pack to chase them down. And also, I'll have it out for survivability, but we'll see how that turns out.
With Widow.
Fire is here.
I've got my ult, so I can take Farah and Mercy down. If both. Farah's probably got ult.
Sorry, we didn't really look at that. I'll
Oh,
swap
they're
it
all
the
here,
next
they're all
one
high ground.
that comes up.
Tracer behind.
So yeah, no, I mean about having walking up to them from a good position and flanking them without using my jump jet. So if I jump jet to them now, I wouldn't have my jump pack cooldown to chase after them if they run away. Yeah, see how I try to chase the kill on Farah. She's very low on health right now. If I was slightly better with my jump timing, I potentially could have got her even lower and maybe even killed her. But it was a bit hard to say. My Widow's gone off big and just killed off two of the supports, and like I said, if the supports are down at this stage, the fight's probably just won. And instead of using the guts. Yeah, that's really good for us. This Farah is like literally bronze. She was like 50 health. Her supports had died and she still tried to use that, so that's really, really bad. As a result, the tanks are just gonna die. There's nothing they can do.
Tracer one, Tracer one. Nice. Nice one, guys. That's it.
Coming through.
No one can hide from my sight.
Oh, right, you got Reaper. You got Reaper instead of Farah. Reaper instead of Farah.
So yeah, the Reaper's got to be a lot more problem for me to play around because Reaper just hard counters Winston. Well, not hard counters, maybe between soft and hard counter, semi-hard counter. Yeah, So I definitely have to play around the Reaper, and I can only go in on the back line when he's distracted or away, or he's quite low, where I can just kill him. And I definitely have to keep up my barrier dancing in order to survive against Reaper.
You can see him.
So yeah, I didn't really want to finish the kill on the Tracer because she said recall. So if I jumped to her, I would jump, she recalled, and then the team would have turned to me and probably have died. So it's probably best to not play too aggressive and just play it a little bit safer.
Yeah, be careful, Winston.
watch out.
So I'm quite low here, so I popped my ult. I think I took too much damage here. Let me play it back slightly.
Yeah, be careful.
Yeah, 458. I had a fire strike on the head, and then, like I say, the Reaper just started burning me. It's really painful.
Mine.
So yeah, try to put my ult and try to disrupt them as much as possible. Since they're on the high ground, ideally I want to try to push them onto low ground on towards my team, where I can just they can just slaughter them.
Yeah, I see you.
It seems I failed at that, and I got pinned, so I need to get the hell out there.
DPS can't see anything.
So yeah, luckily managed to get out, but some mistakes in the sense that I didn't really do well to push them down, and I got charged by right now, which isn't exactly great.
Mercy's ulted, she's half.
So yeah, as Winston, I know I got stuck in there, but as Winston, as someone's area out, so you want to just jump in there, walk in there, and just pop your shield around them. Don't be a pussy and stay out of it. Just try, because even if you survive by staying out of it, you've probably lost the fight if it's like a 3-man, 4-man in the grab out. So it's probably just best for you to also join them and just pop your shield around them and to protect them against any damage source for a brief moment and hopefully survive. So yeah, it's kind of a big clusterfuck. If you Zarya out and they just start swinging, so we'll lose the same fight.
Decent hold.
That's a bit unlucky. If Soldier reacted slightly more and started sprinting
I might change
flat second
I'll use my ult then before I change.
beforehand, it would be quite
Yep,
good.
sure.
So right now, yeah, they got the point, so it's not great. Defending down there is just asking me for me to take poke, not much, not too much well. So I prefer being on top of the space ship and dropping down, or being on top of the walkway and just controlling those areas here, and then just surprising them whenever they come around. So yeah, like I said, with Tracer get low, they just recall. So, but now that she's out recall, she's quite vulnerable because it's quite hard to skip a monkey being Tracer. She's quite low and has no recall.
Was that Moira?
So yeah, like I said, I saw Reaper there. I would gone for Tracer, but he's just don't leave me out. But I decided to jump on the back line and just take out Anna and Mercy as my priority number ones. So these two guys here. Reaper's obviously somewhere in the back line. So yeah, it's all good, great. It would be great if I could also see what my healers are doing at that moment. So by that I mean what our Mercy, I think, or Moira is doing, something like that. So yeah, focus it. Pop my barrier just in case she sleeps, or there's extra damage around, so this is a really good usage. Generally against champions like McCree, Anna, where they have some sort of CC ability as to get near you, you want to use a bubble to kind of bait them as soon as you land, and then just barrier dance your way to win victory. So yeah, just playing around it. I'm purple, so I'm very low, and I've jump pack, so I'm probably dead. It's a good purple by them, and then the whole team turned around to try to kill me, which is interesting.
Reaper dead, nice.
So yeah, free health. Could die in a moment.
Mercy resing, Mercy res, Reaper. If we can burn range shield, I can ult.
Good call. And then again, I'm jumping on the back line, but then now they have Reaper playing here, so it might be a bit more troublesome.
You just ult anyway. Mercy dead, Mercy dead.
Nice. Reaper's in there roughly. Tracer's in with it.
Tracer's out.
She's running.
Burner, just burner. Getting high ground. I used my ult there, so.
So nothing much to see here, and we're just waiting for them to engage. And like I said, getting close to them without using my jump pad is very strong. So just try to take avoid as much as possible.
Yeah, Tracer pretty obvious.
Tracer going up top.
And then see this second
Tracer on
hit.
me.
So just try to help my soldier out in terms of so he doesn't die.
Where the hell is she? He's down health pack.
Come down to the
Nice, nice kill,
Yep,
nice
just
kill.
kill her when she got greedy for health back. Very good.
What's the red?
We popped to get out, so ideally we should just get on the point and just start hammering them down. As long as Reaper dies, I'm fine. He used Brave, so I know it's okay. But this is a really good spot to be Winston to be in because you're really not in much threat of being dead, and then you're also just AOE damaging their entire team here.
Reaper. Reaper one. Nice.
Cool. Yep. Once again, returned to high ground. That worked out really well, so no reason not to try the same strategy again.
In high ground. I'd fall back a wee bit, Brigette.
Just get
Through
some
door?
action.
Not
So like I
sure.
said, try to get behind them
Back
while
to
you
the
jump back.
Tracers.
I know they're through the shoe somewhere, so right now I just take the flank route and then just try to surprise them. The healer surprise and then kill them.
Tracer behind. Tracer's behind in the plane. She's one.
Yeah, I can't really win that fight. Hopefully I get Zarya, but if not, I should just back away. As soon as I saw that bubble, I knew I wouldn't be able to kill her before I was dead. So it's important for me to recognize that and just back out. Maybe I could have killed her if I popped out, but it wasn't really worth it because some of my team had died already, and if I popped out, it wouldn't have achieved that much.
Tracer in the plane. Tracer behind. Tracer's still behind. In the plane. Tracer in the plane.
We're not there.
Yep. So just try flank, protect peel for my DPS. See that soldier's taking some damage. And just try to. And it's important when you're fighting a tracer to track where she is 3 seconds. I knew that she came from here, so when she recalls, she'd be around this area somewhere. So just have to react a little bit faster.
Brigette.
Yeah, the brigade just hard concentrates this, so I don't know what she was doing. So
Nice Brigette.
Right, Zarya's coming in. She put us all again. Maybe spread out a wee. Spread. Back. Okay.
So that was unfortunate, but it's fine.
Barrow's above the plane.
She's half. She's half.
Oh, Winston up
Yeah, once again, focus Anna first. Anna
side to
healer
take the high
first.
ground.
Far.
So yeah, pop out to try flank
one,
you,
fire
and
one.
I managed to do so, but I'm not gonna survive unless I just jump out immediately. So there's no really issues of trying to kill them all out or anything. Mainly Winston's out is just a disruption too, so I don't value that greatly. So yeah, tend to pop it whenever I'm low on health, as much as I can be really. So usually a safe pair of funds around 200-ish, because the lower it is, the more value you get of that out, because you return back to full health. So that's important to know. And for me personally, I thought that 200 health seems about right to usually, because you can get bursted from 200 and then you're just dead instantly, but having the opportunity to use your out.
I am ready to unleash coalescence.
So once again, kind of failed that one in terms of I'm saying you should always flank it behind him, but for that I just tried to jump on and tackle him, which is kind of bad. They've popped Zarya out, and I want to jump in, but then I saw the soldier on his own, so I thought perhaps it was a bad decision to take. So there was only one option was go there, jump in there, and pop a bubble around it. Second option was try to go here and kill the soldier. So in the end, I think I went for a soldier. If I'm not wrong. Yeah. It's important playing a soldier to barrier dance, or he's just gonna wreck you, assuming he puts healing field down in time. So yeah, I can't really fight him in healing field because they would just do damage more than I can do to him.
Done that.
But once the healing field is low, so I can force him out of it with jump and then just try to kill him afterwards. There's Anna back, so he's getting healed, so there's no point going forward anymore.
Where'd Winston go?
Far one. Far half.
No one
Sorry.
can hide from my sight.
So we popped the soldier out, it seems to deal with Vara, which is fine. Only 15 seconds left, so we should just pop out and try to win this fight, because it's kind of gone.
Go for Winston.
Winston, yep.
Yeah, so it's just a clean up after all.
Nice.
My team played really well, there's a small few minor mistakes by me, generally good.
Select your hero.
So yeah, it should be fairly easy to win this point. What's their team comp? Let me check. Huh, I'm really bad at this. Sorry, guys. Uh-oh, there we go. So, let's see what we have. Again, main tank, sub tank kind of thing. A main DPS, Moira, forget. So this team doesn't really synergize that well. I don't synergize well with the Moira at all. Don't synergize quite well with these guys here, I guess. Um, the Bastion's gonna find trouble if they have competent DPS with long, kind of no damage fall off. So someone like a Pharah, a Widow, even McCree. McCree could be problematic because he doesn't really have a shield. Soldier can be problematic, so he's just gotta take a lot of damage around it. Unless I play main tank, and just put a shield and just try body block for him. But in that case, I should would have been better off playing Ryza or Reinhardt. So it doesn't really function that way, but it can still work because there's only a point to go.
Their Tracer was.
So
Attack commencing.
yep, see the Widow Weaker and try to just force out a position and make her feel afraid a bit.
Alright, I'm going.
I'll pop my shield to avoid taking too much damage, though probably that's not necessary. So that's just what I'm doing right now.
Sniper.
So jumping on there would be suicide. So well, suicide for me perhaps with my shield because they have Junkrat, they have Spam, they have Anna. I think so she could just easily sleep me if she was any good, and then just turn around and wreck me and kill me. So for me, I think the probably bad decision is just stick with payload and hide behind it until it gets to a position where I can actually dive the back line.
Yeah.
So yeah, now that we've got them past, they don't really have angles to shoot down anymore. The Junkrat's still doing damage, quite a lot of damage. I can throw down bombs down, but yeah, if he continues his poor bomb, I'll probably dive him. But I won't get much support when diving, so it might be turned into a 1-for-1 mission.
Yeah, they have to come down. Okay, then let's have it.
Oh, I'm asleep. What? Yeah, they're just not bothered.
Yeah, the Junkrat's just too eager to spam damage. He's out of position. He's just gotta die.
Bro,
So
Widow,
just focus on Mercy.
not even care.
Yep, kill the Mercy, so the team fight's pretty much already won. And then we just kill the tanks. I'm just getting a lot of low charge. And focus the back line, always.
Widow dead.
Because fighting the tanks have been useless, they've just gotten healed by Anna. But instead, if I force her to get a position to miss her heals, the fight just becomes a lot easier. For everyone.
Nice.
And now there's only Reinhardt left.
Roadhog out. Nice.
So yeah, it's just
Reinhardt.
it's always important as Winston to try to finish off your melee. If I can count the number of times that where people just manage to survive an inch of health because of their melee, that would be really, yeah. So just always try to melee when they near death.
I'm going for jump.
Nice, nice.
So yeah, I knew that if they ulted me, it would have been good because that means the rest of my team would not have died.
Get that?
So I should compare it.
Oh, go on.
So yeah, that was very dangerous. I'm 25 health. If they managed to land a bear shot at me, yeah, I was dead. So I instantly, as soon as I realized I was that low, I just instantly popped out and just started wrecking them in this really tight room because they had just nowhere to go and just get juggled.
Nice, good kill. Good picks.
That's really good. So both the healers are down, so that
Need
just
some
means
for the
we
rest
would
of
win the
us,
next fight
mate.
automatically.
Selfish, man.
Right down.
So just zone them out, doesn't matter what we do with one.
I think that's it.
So really well played by
Snowfall.
my team. So I don't think much of I did well made too much of a difference even if I played shit. And there's definitely a few mistakes regarding my Winston play, like use
Yeah, we got our
shield too. I use shield to design the shield properly. I too
He's a
got
real
too
life friend,
tunnel vision
so-
on the kill sometimes, so I should need to learn to back up more.
Have a play of the game.
Yeah, mainly that's it. I'm sure there was lots of learn my issues. So if you see anything, do pop out to me, point out to me. Thanks.